hold your breath.
Oh my goodness.
This is not
y'all, the setup just gets crazier and crazier. But all that to say, walk for the door now, dance with your partner off the floor. Your daughter shake, wasn't it? The truth I tell you, lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
And if you're not Irish, what song is that?
It's Finnegan's Wake. It's from a book, and they made it a song, and now everybody sings it. It's awesome. Happy St. Patrick's Day week-ish, almost.
Might as well be. Round up.
I like it. Don't touch the phone.
Well, they're getting a peek at our setup here.
Oh my gosh, behind the scenes.
It's going down on Insta.
It's always, wasn't
look.
it last week that it was Instagram and I dropped the phone?
It's just,
It's gonna bother me.
it is. But does the book bother you more than the...
Nope, it doesn't. So, Faren, we started a new mini-series.
That's not the first post-it.
I'm sorry.
Guys, it's Saturday. It is not Friday. And it's Saturday night, not morning. Because some of y'all watch the Saturday morning show
Right.
instead of the Friday Night Live.
So it's gonna be the Sunday morning show for you. But yeah, so Friday night, Morgan had a poker night, and Jacob would have gone, but y'all had a wedding.
I drug him to a wedding. It was really fun.
Congratulations to the couple.
Yes, beautiful bride, Megan.
Yay.
And, they had a live band. That's what I was gonna say.
Cool.
They had a live band, and I don't know. I think the last weddings I've been to all had DJs, but this live band was awesome. They danced and choreographed and had a light show. It was a little loud, but I think I'm just getting old.
Those whippersnappers. It's too loud.
I mean,
Turn it down.
yeah, it was really loud. But I chair danced a lot because I wore the wrong shoes. That happens. But yeah, it was a really fun wedding to go to.
That's good.
Plus, it was kid-free. Thank you, Betty. Appreciate you.
Her interview is, which one?
You were
Hers was Grit. You were in the Grit one.
Yeah, you were...
I don't remember the exact number because we've just had so many.
You were Rain Man, though. I'm always impressed when you can call the episode numbers.
32.
Sure.
Now I have to check. So I'm going to check for fun while you talk about Janet. So
Yeah, well, our last episode, we had 2 episodes, but the last episode in the Daring Greatly mini-series was Janet Clancy, who was also at the wedding last night, looking fabulous. And she talked about a lot of really great stuff. I think the overarching part of her story is pursuing her goals and dreams after having a kid. So being a mom and wife and all the things, and still feeling that call and that passion, and having the bravery and tenacity to go after it. She went back to school to become a nurse, and she loves it and is really good at it. But one of her points was about asking for help.
Okay, so we talk about the Enneagram a lot. So I'm an Enneagram 1, wing 2, you're a 9, wing 1, so we share the oneness there. But asking people for help. So as a 9, Faren, how does that go for you?
So the people pleaser in me, and like non-confrontational, I don't want to burden other people with it. And so...
Because you're the peacemaker.
Yes, peacemaker.
You don't want to ruffle any feathers.
So if I ask you to help me, I'm disrupting your peace to try to give myself peace, and that's not what I'm designed for. So I always feel like I'm being a burden to somebody else, and I think like, I can't offer to make you dinner, so why would I accept your offer to make me dinner? And it's not really a scorekeeping thing, but I think that's where the one comes out of like the right thing to do and the social rules and stuff. And so then if I also don't accept it, then there's not a social rule to maybe if I owe you or you owe me, and oh my gosh, it's complicated. But I mostly just don't want to burden anybody.
So mine, it's just so funny how the Enneagram works, because mine is that's not on my radar at all. Mine would be, so since a 1 is the perfectionist, mine would be, I don't want to ask for help because then I don't want people to know that I don't know what I'm doing. Whenever I'm supposed to like know everything and it's perfect and it's right and I'm not gonna fail. And
I think asking for help sometimes feels like you're saying you're failing.
Yeah, or that I don't like to look incompetent. So not knowing what I'm doing and having to ask for help, like I don't understand something, like how do I do this? Like I just feel like a fool. Whenever that's not what, like if I ask you for help, that's not at all what you're thinking.
No.
or the whole world, except for maybe other ones who are like, she must not know what she's talking about.
But that's a good point. I think people do kind of judge, like, why won't they let me help them? They say they're so tired and stressed and all this, but they won't ever let me help. And so then it goes down this, like, they're just so prideful or whatever. But that's not the case.
Or the other thing, if you delegate, me delegating as a 1, if it doesn't go like this, then I'm like, should have done it myself.
Are you guys good at asking for help?
Ugh.
And if you have any tips on how to get over it and just ask for help, let us know. But Janet
We
had
can
a lot
go. We
to
can
share.
go around the wheel. So Enneagram 2s, they're not going to ask for help because they're the helpers. So they should be able to handle it, right? If they can help all these people, they should be able to help themselves. 3s don't ask for help. I'm just speculating. I'm not a 3, I don't know.
It's
3s
research.
don't ask for help because they need to look like they already know how to do it. And they need people to know, like, hey, I can already do it. A 4 is writing a song about how they need help and they're not going to ask. A 5, they're already Googling it. They've watched 17 YouTube videos and also know what was happening in the world on the day they figured that out.
They might still be wondering if they need help. Do I really need the help?
A 6 already has a plan for a plan. So if I ask for help, and if they think this, then I'm going to do this. And then if they think this, I'm going to do this. And then if everything just goes to crap, then I got this here. A 7's like, sure, whatever, cool, you want to help me too? Great, as long as I don't miss that thing later, because that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And then an 8's like, no, I don't need help. I am the help.
How dare you say I need
Don't
offer
I'm climbing
help?
this. We're so stereotyping these. And I was imitating some
No, I'm just
other, no, it's facts, I'm sorry.
I
If
love
I heard
when you talk
anythings.
Enneagram. It's always entertaining, especially when you go around the wheel. It's like Wheel of Fortune or
Wheel of Enneagram. Great.
yes. Hang
If
on
you
tight.
have questions about the Enneagram, I'm a nerd, so I tried to do my eyebrow raise and you didn't go bing or anything, so like
It's only weeks.
I'm gonna double tap the eyebrow. Ready? Okay, so
That came out of my brain so fast.
okay, Betty's interview. I said it was episode 32. It's actually 23. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that might have been my dyslexia.
Nice segue into our other episode we dropped this week, a listener's choice on the topic of dyslexia.
And one of the myths is it's not always getting things backwards, like 32, 23.
Yeah, it's not seeing things backwards. And when people say that, I give them grace. But if you would like to know what dyslexia really is, I encourage you to check out Nancy's episode
39.
39, not 93. But someday
We
will.
do not have that many episodes.
We will, though.
That's
Isn't
right.
that neat to
Stay
think about?
tuned in a while.
I think the biggest takeaway from Nancy's episode is she gives you kind of the basic what dyslexia is and the process to have someone tested and then what interventions would look like. But she's come and spoke at our district before, and I think why so many people love hearing her speak is she talks so much about the social and emotional needs that students have. And we've learned about like Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Right, you can't do the Bloom stuff before you do the Maslow stuff. That's a bunch of education talk before, and it's basically, it's hard to learn calculus if you're really hungry.
Yeah. Or you didn't sleep last night.
Because you were working, so you're probably worried about that and putting food on the table than worried about singing in choir that day.
There's that thing going around Facebook about, but I don't have a pencil.
Yes.
And it's about how this teacher's giving this kid a really hard time because he showed up to class without a pencil. But like if she really knew everything that had transpired and is going on in his life, she would just be glad he showed up today.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that same idea. And so these kiddos that, are struggling in school, they think they're dumb a lot of times, and they're having to go to an intervention dyslexia class where we're going to work on the thing that you struggle with the absolute most with intensity in a small group so you can't hide. Why won't you participate and give me everything you got? Mm-hmm. And so she talks about needing to meet, again, those social emotional needs to get the buy-in.
She talks about meeting them where they're at. Mm-hmm. So I can't just say, Faren, do all these things if like I haven't met any of those other needs for her yet.
Yeah. And especially the older the student is, to kind of go back and start at the beginning, it just reiterates what they already probably think about themselves. Mm-hmm. So again, just treading lightly in those areas. So
I would say...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, jinx, double jinx, Faren.
Blackout jinx.
Whatever your
You guys
daughters
say.
say.
Blackout jinx.
Blackout jinx.
Yes.
Faren. And you have to do this.
They do.
I don't know how that works, but maybe you have a kid at home too. Jinx.
Double jinx.
But
But you gotta do it. Blackout jinx. At the same time. Ready?
Jinx.
Blackout jinx.
I thought we were starting at the top. Jinx, double jinx, blackout jinx.
We're best friends. We spend lots of time together. Can't you tell?
But I was gonna say, I liked how I learned that dyslexia, it's a processing thing. So it's not necessarily words and writing, but it's processing. So if I say, pick up your shoes, take them to your closet, put them in your shoe bucket, also bring me some socks. Like, that's gonna go,
They might bring you the shoe bucket.
Right.
And they're gonna look at you just as confused as you're looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me to bring the shoe bucket. No. I said put your shoes in the bucket and bring me socks. Mm-hmm. Oh, well that makes way more sense.
And that was a whole eye-opening thing for me. And then just thinking about, like, if you have kids at home and you're giving them these things, instead of maybe blowing up at them or being frustrated, you can actually think that, okay, well, it's affecting 1 in 5 people. So if there's 5 people in our household, statistically, one of you, who is it?
Or maybe all of us. Yeah, so just lots of really good takeaways. I wouldn't want people to miss out on the episode because they're like, dyslexia, there's not really...
That doesn't apply to me.
That doesn't apply. Again, like you said, 1 in 5, there's someone you know or
it's either you or your friend.
Yeah, and just any parents that... The biggest thing with dyslexia is it's unexpected. So you have a kiddo who you know is smart, and you know just talking to them, they're fine, and maybe they're really good in math, and whatever it is about reading or their spelling or their handwriting or writing, you just are like, man, why don't they try? If they tried harder, if you're having kind of those same things, always come to your brain, or every year the teacher's like, they're just where they need to be, and you know that your kiddo really is capable of more. That might be a little red flag.
Yeah, because then what they do is, like, as Faren in her job, she gives kids tool belts. That way they have all these tools in there to use whenever Faren's not there anymore.
Yeah, well, I have to remind them that, like, I'm not in class with you, so...
Right, you have to be able to implement this on your own. Mm-hmm. So, again, it's not, if you might be an adult with dyslexia and you might not even know it, but you have these things that you do, like if you need to write down step by step what you need to do as soon as you get home, that might be a coping mechanism you've learned from what works for you.
A lot of adults that go to her talks come up to her afterwards and they're like, oh my gosh, I have dyslexia, and they're
That's
like
me.
Crying because it's just such a relief, when you're busting your tail and the kid over there is sleeping through class and gets hundreds and you're barely passing.
Right.
So anyways, definitely worth checking out.
Wow, we could talk about that one for a while.
Oh my gosh.
That was a good one.
I'm a little passionate about the topic, so.
Well, good, because you teach it, so I'm glad you are. So we have a new mini-series coming up. It's Marie Forleo's Everything is Figure-Outable.
EIF.
Acronyms. It's been a thing.
It's difficult. Very difficult for me.
There's so many academic acronyms we have to know, but then... Anyway, so Marie Forleo's Everything is Figure-Outable. It's exactly what it sounds like. Everything is figure-outable. So she gives you some action points, some different things to do to help you figure anything out. So when we're reading this book and going through it with you guys, we're going to put our spin on it. So our Jesus-y Christian spin. So instead of everything is figure-outable, we're going to say through Christ all things are possible. So we're going to spin it that way.
Because it's true. Ding.
I'm just going to throw them at you and see if you can...
Gosh. I can't. Like, you got to be able to move it farther.
I can't.
I can't. Oh, I can do the other one.
Oh, I can't do the other one.
You're like kids when they try to wink and they go, am I doing it?
Yes, you are.
Yes, everything is figure-outable. I think if you're one of those people that you wished you were more optimistic, I think that's good for you. I think it's really good to have a lot of the tools and ideas she has for when you get into the tough situations. In our episode tonight, we talked a lot about, we recorded before, and we're going to record after this, that you need to practice these ideas before you get into a tough situation. And we talk about that a lot, whether kids and your expectations, or opening up to your spouse about something you're being vulnerable about. You need to set those expectations and have those practices in place before an argument or a disagreement or a tough time. Because if you try to like say, this time is awful, I'm going to try to be more positive, it just... I haven't heard a lot of success with that strategy or approach.
Think about it as a team. You don't have your football team just go out on Friday night
On game
and
day.
expect to win. Like, they've had no practice. They don't have any reps. They don't know. So
They're out of shape.
What do you expect whenever you didn't do any practice? So again, this is going to set you up for how to practice, what to have in mind. That way, whenever you do need to step up to the plate, you can be more successful.
And I do like the research she has to share, so it's all, has scientifically based data to support it.
If you want to know about neuroplasticity, we talked about that a lot in Grit, so coming back together with that one.
Hi, Parker. I see
Hi.
you. Parker reached out to me not too long ago.
yeah?
And I want to find like the right words to respond to her. But for right now, I'll tell her hi. Hi, Parker. I appreciate you reaching out to me not too long ago. So
Great.
Yep.
Okay, well, we're about to go record some more in our festive gear.
Yes, happy St. Patty's Day. Oh, I like that we had little hair toss. Yes, one lucky am. It's so good I had to make the joke again. It's really mama. It's not am. Maybe some people go by am.
If you're looking for a grandmother name, Am is available.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Especially if you still want to be the mom.
What?
No, like if you're... We're not going to get into it.
All right, that's an off-air conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all have a great night. See ya.
Bye.